Well, a group of 17 Republican House members, they're speaking up. They sent a letter to Speaker Nancy Pelosi this week, urging her to immediately remove Democrat Representative Eric Swalwell from the House Intelligence Committee because of Representative Swalwell's position on the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. It's seen as a little bit of an issue given his close interactions with, whatever his interactions may have been, with a Chinese intelligence service officer. They say, given how this happened, and given that they may have been unintentional, they are nonetheless, quote, an unacceptable national security risk. This is according to the letter. That makes sense, right? I mean, if he had a relationship of some sort with a woman who was a Chinese spy, then that is obviously concerning given that he's on the Intel Committee. And he probably should have known better before he had her help fundraise for his campaign, right? I mean, this is crazy. It really is. I mean, and it's super crazy given that he was the one out pointing the finger at everyone else saying that, they were Russian spies. Or the whole Trump campaign had somehow ties to Russia. Noting, by the way, that the committee, quote, handles some of the most sensitive information. This is the Intel Committee that Swalwell's on. Sensitive information our government processes, information critical to our national defense, the letter continues. We urge you, meaning Nancy Pelosi, to immediately remove Representative Swalwell from his position on the House Intel Committee. It doesn't seem like a lot to ask. I mean, I would actually have taken it a step further and said maybe he actually ought to resign. And the reason being that, again, perfectly nice guy. I'm sure he didn't knowingly get involved with this woman, but he kind of should have had his antenna up, right? I mean, she was out there fundraising for his campaign, and then she was putting interns, or at least an intern, was placed in his office. Fox actually asked Nancy Pelosi about that, and she said, well, I don't think we need to have background checks on every intern that comes to Capitol Hill, to which I say, I'm sorry. You don't think? You don't think you ought to have background checks on every intern that comes into our House of Representatives, just as you would into your own house, I'm sure, Speaker Pelosi? In other words, this is America's house, and we can't just have anyone, certainly not someone who was put there by a Chinese spy, coming to work on Capitol Hill. Come on. Again, everybody just needs to open their eyes, be a little bit more realistic, and accept that China has a very long game it's trying to play. And the sooner we get our wits about us and think intelligently about our future, the better. It's so good to have you here. Make sure you are subscribed to this podcast. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. And I'm going to see you right back here tomorrow.